watching virtually, welcome to the folks that are attending live as well. My name is Brenda Meller, and I bring you social media pie. I mean, do I bring it or do I bring it, right? This was a lot of fun bringing this costume into Franklin. I actually wore it in when we were coming into the hotel the other day, and nobody really thought anything of it. They're like, oh, it's a costume character walking around. So lots of fun. So for those of you online, I'm going to give you the same instructions as I'll be giving those that are joining us here in person, and that is to follow along on LinkedIn. What I'd like you to do is open up your laptops now. If you've got this watching in one browser, maybe pull up LinkedIn in another browser window, and also pull out your mobile phones with the LinkedIn app. Make sure that the LinkedIn app has been updated so you've got the latest version, because then you get all the fun bells and whistles. And I think we've got an hour together today. Do I have a countdown ticker running so I know when I'm out of time here today or no? Or I'm just going to vamp until we go. OK, there we go. And we're going to cover a lot of information. If you have questions as we go along, I want you to raise your hand. And raise your hand, and Laura is going to bring you a microphone, because we're going to have you read the questions so the audience can hear us as well. And for those that are watching online, do they have the ability to answer questions? And that is, I'm sorry, what's your name? Jen? Yep. Jen's going to be reading your questions off to me, so don't be shy in the audience. I'm going to encourage you guys to ask questions as well. All right, so what we're going to be talking about today is what's new on LinkedIn in 2022. And this is not going to be a passive sit back and listen and take notes. This is going to be a very active, hands-on. We're going to practice some techniques as we go. I want you to navigate LinkedIn. I want you to get comfortable with it, and you'll be doing some of the techniques to update your profile. So very first thing we're going to talk about is profile video. Behind me on the screen, I'm going to pull up my profile right now to show you an example of this. And I also want to show you what appears on the mobile device. I'm going to have you look it up on your mobile app in just a moment. So the profile video is a newer feature that LinkedIn has added into the platform. And when I think about this feature, I think it's underutilized, because it gives you a way to dimensionalize yourself to people that are visiting your profile. So let's think about how you are using LinkedIn right now. Talent recruitment, show of hands. How many people are using LinkedIn for talent recruitment? Okay. Others in the room, business development, lead generation, perhaps? Okay, I see a few hands up there. What about just as a company ambassador, right? Just to represent the organization? Okay, so a little bit of that. And there's probably a mix, and some of you may be looking for a job as well and other things, and that's, we'll talk about different techniques there too. So the profile video is really a way for you to introduce yourself, okay? This is something that rolled out in 2021-ish. They gradually did the rollout. And what happens is now we have the ability to add a video message onto our profiles of about 30 seconds in total. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate to my profile right now. I want you to watch my profile photo for a second here. You're going to notice it flashes. About 3-second preview happens there. Okay? Then it goes back to the still photo. Okay? Now, I'm not a Harry Potter fan, but I've heard there's like a gallery of pictures, and then the pictures start to, are you guys know what I'm talking about? So some people say it's kind of like that Harry Potter thing, right? Kind of. Okay, so you get a 3-second preview, and then what happens is when you click on the video, click on the photo, and in your view, it will just say View Profile Video. Then it will play. Let's see if we have audio here. Not playing audio. So in the introduction here, you can see my captions that are reading on top of it as well, because I know some people are listening, or rather watching this without audio on, right? I'm guilty of it myself. So I have the burned-in captions, and this is a way for you to introduce yourself to people that are visiting your profile, okay? Oh, there it goes. Oh, it was your video. I was like, mine started playing too. That's awesome. So here's a couple of bonus tips for all of you. And I'm going to have you play this on the mobile app next. So go ahead and navigate to my profile on the mobile app while I'm explaining this. It's up to 30 seconds in total. Now, what I've learned is you don't want to film a 30.1-second video, because LinkedIn will say the video's too long. So I've always been filming it as a 29-second video. And then recently I was told, hey, your video cuts off and I don't see the ending. And I started troubleshooting to figure out why people are saying that. As it turns out, on the mobile device, it cuts off at about 25 to 26 seconds. So my advice for you is create a profile video for yourself, upload it from your phone, because that's the only place that we can upload this right now is from the phone. And you want to do about 25 to 26 seconds in total. I want you guys to go ahead, play my video right now, and then we'll move on. And for those of you online, I want you to play that video too. Check it on desktop and check it online as well.
That's pretty cool.
So I'm guessing, I think it's iPhone users, it cuts off a little early. Android, I think it plays to the end. You get the full video of it. So this is something where you can introduce, this can be your elevator pitch. Hi, my name is Laura Van Hoody. I'm with Hub International, and tell about the company. Or why not get to the point if you're hiring? Hi, this is Brenda Meller. I'm hiring for a sales coordinator, a marketing assistant, and an accounting controller. If you're interested, please message me here on LinkedIn. Referrals are appreciated, right? Let's think about what's the main thing we're trying to do with our LinkedIn right now and incorporate that into the video. I don't have the same video on my profile forever. I'm going to probably change this off next week sometime, so I'll have a new message, something fresh on there as well. What I love about this, what's that? Let me get the microphone over if we could, Laura. There was a question from the audience, and just a second, online folks, we're going to have her repeat that question again.
How frequently do you change your video?
Excellent question. So how frequently do I change it? Depends on what the video was about and how relevant that message still is, and if there's anything new I want to talk about. If it were me, I would probably change it. I would recommend for you to change it about once per quarter, just to have something different on there. You can actually see the number of total views. You can't see who viewed the video, but I know that if I see something different on a profile, I'll look at it again. If I see the same video, I'm like, I've already seen that message. I'm not going to watch it again. Okay? So think about when your message or when your goals change on LinkedIn, maybe changing up that video. All right, so that's the profile video. You can only do this from the LinkedIn mobile app. And I'm going to give you a bonus tip. If you are an iPhone user, there's an app on your phone called Clips, C-L-I-P-S. And you can film the video straight from your phone. You're nodding your head because you have this, right? And it gives you the ability to add captions for free. So, and then you can just download it to your phone, upload it into LinkedIn. So a really cool tool. Okay. So that's the first feature. It's called the profile video. The second feature is name pronunciation. Now my name, Brenda Meller, it's pretty easy to pronounce, right? Sometimes I get Mueller or Miller, not too tricky. But there are other names that I'm sure all you know are a little bit more difficult to pronounce. Somebody might say, is it Van Hoody, Van Hout? How do you say that? Am I saying it correctly, right? So LinkedIn has added this feature where we can now add a recording of our name pronunciation onto our profile. The recording gives us 10 seconds in total. Now, if I were to say, hi, this is Brenda Meller, that's probably about 1.8 seconds, maybe 2. I don't know, not too long, right? So now I've got 8 seconds to say something else as well. I know the audio is not going to play if I play this right now, so I'm going to ask all of you to go ahead on my profile and click on that little sound microphone right next to my name field. I want you to listen to that right now. Same thing for you watching that are online. Go ahead and play that. It's like in stereo, everybody's blasting on it. So you can see what I did in that. And I want you to think about for your own name. Let's first of all use the field as LinkedIn intended this, for your name pronunciation. So you want to say your name. Hi, this is Brenda Meller. And I'm going to say it slightly slower than if I were in the room with you. Hi, this is Brenda Meller. You also want to give people any phonetic cues. So I sometimes will say it's like Keller, but with an M. So if you give people those cues, use that in your name pronunciation as well. Then I've got roughly 7 or 8 seconds, maybe less, to talk about whatever I want to talk about. Follow me here on LinkedIn for strategy tips, and connect with me if you would like to get a bigger slice of the LinkedIn pie. So same thing for you, just as the same thing we did in our profile video. What else are you using LinkedIn for? You can put that in that little soundbite inside your name field. My company is now hiring. Message me or visit our career page to learn more. Right? So think about how you can use that space creatively in there. Okay. Any questions on this so far? Helpful? Learning new stuff? You're like, wow, this stuff was in there all along? And the interesting thing is LinkedIn will sneak in these new features, and they don't really kind of do a big splash or big announcement. They push them out gradually. They rely upon the network really to get the word out. We kick the tires and kind of look at the features, and then they start rolling it out to more and more people. And what I love about the name pronunciation field, too, is especially if you do interviewing. And how often do you have a candidate who says, how do you say your name? Am I saying that correctly? It gets rid of that awkwardness, like, am I saying this name correctly on here, okay? So encourage you to use that feature. Even if you are John Smith, I would still use the name pronunciation feature because you have that little sound clip that's in there. All right. The third feature we're going to talk about is gender pronouns. And gender pronouns is something that LinkedIn rolled out. It's been probably about a year and a half now. They kind of gradually roll those out on there. I'm going to take my pie costume off here, guys. And what I love about this is it's so warm. It's like I'm baking, literally baking inside here. It's fun, though. Gender pronouns, so it creates clarity if you have a gender that may be confusing. So let's say, for example, Pat, is it male or female? Who am I speaking with, right? Also, if you have a gender affiliation that is other than what was assigned at birth, or I like this other thing, and this is why I use it, to show your support of the LGBTQ community, right? It normalizes this feature so that those that might be hesitant about adding it to their profile, when they see more and more of us using it, it's a normalized feature. It's not something that's quite so awkward, right? So if that's something you'd like to do, you can add it to your profile. If you'll notice inside this field, if you go in the desktop, it's on the pencil icon at the top. If you're on the mobile view, it's still in the gray pencil icon. It's in the area where you edit your name. You're going to notice there's a drop down for the gender pronouns, and there are several options that are in there. I'm going to pull mine up to show you and navigate this right now. And there's the traditional kind of 3 that are in the drop down. So it says she, her, he, him, they, them, and then here's the other one, custom. Have you guys noticed this? Custom. So you can put anything you want. So this is kind of a neat thing that it's really designed as a gender pronoun field, but you can use it for something else. I have seen people put in parentheses superhero or something to that effect. There's a question in the back. Could we get the microphone over there, Laura?
No,
oh, yeah.
I had diet do pronouns.
Let me show, Tim, what's your last name? I apologize. Let's look at Tim Hackett. I'm going to pull this up. I was wondering about this. Uh-oh.
Sackett rhymes with Hackett. Sackett.
Sackett. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. There we go. Okay, so for those of you online, I want you to go to Tim's profile as well right now and check this out. So first of all, not a life coach. Loved that. Intriguing headline that was on there. And then next to his name field, you're using the name pronunciation, and he's also got the gender pronoun, but you've set it as Diet Dew. So is that your favorite beverage, Diet Mountain Dew? Very good. Okay. So you can use this, add a little bit of personality. You don't have to use it necessarily for the gender pronoun field is the takeaway on there. So thank you, Tim, for pointing that out. All right. Let's talk next about creator mode. And I'm curious, how many of you in the room have enabled creator mode on your profile? Show of hands if you have creator mode enabled. Does anybody? Okay. Does anybody have the hashtags at the top of their profile? No? Okay, so you don't actually have it. Some people enable it and they don't know what it is and even that they've set it up. So creator mode is something that LinkedIn rolled out within the past year, and it's basically was designed to enhance some features of your profile. But one of the limitations when you set up creator mode is your default button on LinkedIn. Right now, if someone visits your profile and they're not connected, your button says connect. If you enable creator mode, that button changes to follow. Okay? So let's talk about the difference there, connect versus follow. When you connect with someone on LinkedIn, it is a two-way action. I send you an invitation, you review it, and you decide whether or not to accept it. And if you accept, then we can message each other back and forth. Follow is a one-way action. So I can go onto Tim's profile and follow it, and I don't have to wait for Tim to accept it. When I follow Tim, I can start to see his updates. I can see his posts. I can't see his contact info. I don't have the ability to message him back and forth directly unless I connect with him, right? So there's a little bit of a limitation in there. So let me show you on your profile. If you scroll down to the section that says resources, you'll see this section that's called creator mode. And if you click into this section, you'll see that there's a little toggle button. Mine's already set up, so it doesn't show it right now. But there's a toggle button that will say turn creator mode on. When you do that, your default button automatically becomes follow. We have another question in the back, Laura. And the other thing is you do get the ability to add these hashtags to the top of your profile. So it will say talks about, and then up to 5 hashtags will appear at the top of your profile. Okay? Question? 1 second from the microphone. Question about creator mode.
On the creator mode,
Yes.
like let's say I have my 30,000 connections and I want to turn creator mode on, do I
Yes.
lose those 30,000 like level 1 connections?
No. So there's still the ability to have up to 30,000 connections in total on LinkedIn. Followers are unlimited. Okay? So typically, if you're thinking about turning on creator mode, I would advise you not turn it on until you have at least 5,000 connections, because it creates a hurdle for people to try to connect with you, and a lot of people don't know the workaround. The workaround is to go to the More button and then click on the drop down, and then there's an option that will say personalized invite or connect. but most people don't know that, and most people won't bother. They'll just click on follow. So it's a quicker way to build up followers, but if you have at least 5,000 connections, I would say wait until you get to 5,000 connections and then enable it. So if you ever see someone's profile who at the top, like mine, underneath their headline it says talks about, and then there's like hashtags that are listed there, they will probably have the follow button as the default. If you want to connect with them, go to the more button. Click on the more, and there'll be an option that will either say personalized invite or connect, okay? So I typically do not recommend creator mode unless you're a pretty advanced LinkedIn user. I've had a couple people say, but I want those hashtags at the top of my profile because I want people to see what I talk about on LinkedIn. Right now they're not clickable. So they're kind of vanity hashtags. They don't really go anywhere. They don't really do anything, right? So just use caution if you're thinking about setting that up on there. And if you do have creator mode enabled, what I would recommend is that once a week you look and see who are the people that are following your profile, because there could be potential leads or new connections opportunities inside that area, okay? If you have questions about how to look up those followers, let me know and I'll explain that to you. All right, featured section. Show of hands, how many people have enabled the featured section on their profile? Anybody in the room? I see a couple hands timidly going up like I think I have it on the profile. So if you scroll down on your profile, if you see this section featured, that means yes, you have it enabled. We all have it available to us, but we all do not have it enabled, okay? If you are not seeing the featured section on your profile, what I want you to do is go up to the top, and then the button that says Add Profile Section, I want you to click on that. So again, if you do not see the featured section on your profile, go up to the top of your profile. On the button that says Add Profile Section, I want you to click on that, okay? When you click on that, underneath Add to Profile, I want you to go to the Recommended section, and then you'll see a little button that will say Add Featured. So if you click on Add Featured, then it will enable this on your profile, okay? In the Featured section, I think this is really cool because it's kind of like LinkedIn meets Pinterest. Anybody Pinterest users here in the room? I still dabble a little bit. So you pin things and you can kind of keep things in different boards and things like that. And what I love about this featured is it adds a lot of visibility to a few items that you could put at the top of your profile. So let's think about, for all of you, what might you want to feature on your profile? Maybe you've got a hot job posting that you're having a hard time filling, right? You could put that in the featured section. You could put that link to that job posting inside there. Maybe you have, you're doing just broad talent recruitment. You want to talk about the culture of the company, the benefits of working there. Maybe you've got like a one-sheet PDF. You could put that inside the featured section. Let's say if you're using this for business development, what is the landing page that you want to send people to that is used to capture leads, to capture email addresses? You could put that inside the featured section, okay? So any external links can go in there. The other thing that you could put is a LinkedIn post. So let's say you've done a post on LinkedIn about a recent job, about something about your organization, and you want to get added visibility to that over time. Put that inside your featured section. And the way that you would do that is when you have posted on LinkedIn, let me just show you my latest post as an example. I'm going to go down to my activity section right now, and this is how I get to my latest post on LinkedIn. So if you want to follow me along, navigate to your activity feed right now, and then click on Posts at the top. And in your latest post, or the one that you want to put inside the featured section, just click on the 3 dots, and you'll see a link that will say Feature on top of Profile, okay? So as soon as you click on that Feature on top of Profile, it's giving me a little hiccup right now, it will add it into your featured section. It will sit inside there. So think about the featured section the same way as when you go to the grocery store. They have things on the ends of the aisles, right? The end caps. One week, it's Kellogg's breakfast cereal, right? Next week, it's the graham crackers and marshmallows and chocolate bar, because it's s'more season, right? And then the week after that, it's something different. So they're always featuring different things on the end of the aisle because they know that that's a high visibility area inside the store. Similarly, on LinkedIn, I don't just keep the same 3 featured items at the top of my profile. I rotate things in all the time, just like the grocery store rotates in new featured items all the time. So think about what are your goals for using LinkedIn right now, and what items might help to support those goals. These can be external links, these can be posts, these can also be media, so you can upload like a PDF or a PowerPoint or something else in there, okay? Is anybody, you said a couple of you guys are using this. I'm curious, for those that are using the featured section, what is in your featured section right now? Any hands? We're going to get a microphone over here for the audience. And for the audience at home, I'm curious, what are you using in your featured section as well?
I have a video of an interview that
Okay.
I did with somebody that just explains what my business is and what I do.
Wonderful.
And then as I have events or webinars coming up, I'll highlight those, or if I have a blog I've just released or whatever.
Yeah, that's
So-
awesome. So upcoming events, blogs, interviews that you've done, podcasts that you've been on, those types of things, wonderful as well. Anyone else want to share what they have? We're going to move the microphone over to Greg, and then we're going to go to Allison next, and then we'll see if anyone online would like to share that as well. Again, what do you have in your featured section? Greg.
No, I'm glad I'm here this morning because I need to update it. But there's no, I've got some. I put some podcasts that I've been on. One including the one you had me on. See, I
There
know.
you go.
And but it just is one to. I'll also put white papers on there, just as
Wonderful.
another option.
Good, very good. All right, and I think there's one more hand in the back for Allison. We're talking about what we put in our featured section. So go ahead.
I have a couple of articles that I've written
Articles written.
that
Wonderful.
went as posts originally, and then I moved them across.
Okay, the ones that are sitting on your LinkedIn profile in the LinkedIn articles section?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So LinkedIn does have a blogging platform inside the network as well. It's called LinkedIn Articles. So that's what Allison's referring to. So if you've done long form content, those would sit inside there. And then Jen, anybody online say if they've used anything in their featured section? Come on, you guys. I know you're using featured online. If you have any questions or comments as we go along, please use the chat. I will periodically be checking with Jen because I want to make sure that you guys are getting your questions answered as well. All right, so speaking of, when Greg just said, I had some stuff in there and I haven't looked at it for a while, I'm not picking on you, Greg, because I know most people in this room have not looked at your profile in a while. So here's the other tip for you. LinkedIn profiles have changed. They have made some navigation changes over the past year. And if you haven't looked at your profile, you may not have even noticed it. Or you may have said, well, something looks kind of funny. It's like when you walk inside the grocery store and you're like, well, bread used to be on aisle 7. It's now on aisle 6 or aisle 5, right? Things are a little bit different, but they're still inside the store. So LinkedIn has made some profile changes over the past year. One of the more significant ones is the about statement. The about statement is where you tell people about you. And by the way, the about statement should not look like you're looking for a job unless you are unemployed and looking for a job. So I want you to look at your about statement right now. Does it look like the same thing that's at the top of your resume? If so, change that. Like, let's update this and let's think about who you are trying to reach on LinkedIn, and is that about statement written for that ideal target audience, okay? In the about section, it's now 4 lines in the preview. So it used to be 3 lines, and then we had to click on see more to see the rest of the about statement, right? Now it's 4 lines. So they've given us one whole line of additional real estate that's available in the preview section. Let me scroll down to mine as an example here to show you this. So my advice for you is that you maximize those first 4 lines, because most people will not click on see more, okay? I'm going to say that again. Most people will not click on see more. And I think the latest statistic I saw, it was like between 95 to 98% of people will not click on see more. So you've got to get to the point quickly, capture their attention so we can keep the right people reading on your profile. And we want to get them to click on see more. So I like to start right out the gate with something that is speaking to my ideal target audience. So if you're hiring, and that's your primary use for using LinkedIn, right off the bat, we're hiring. If we have a variety of positions open, check out our careers page or keep on reading to learn more, right? Like, let's start right off the gate there with that compelling call to action on there. You'll also notice throughout your profile that there are some additional navigation changes. There's nested menus now. So whereas before we could go into our experience section and there was like a pencil icon next to each of our roles, now there's only one pencil icon at the top, and then you go inside that section and make changes, okay? So if things don't seem exactly as they were, it's because LinkedIn has done a little bit of a rollout to the change on there. But while we're talking about your about statement and all these profile changes, your homework is to go through your profile from top to bottom, because like Greg, there's probably something in your profile that has not been looked at in a while. There's probably a broken link in there to a web page that no longer exists, right? I'm seeing some heads nodding. There may be some description of your company or yourself or your role that is now outdated. So let's think about updating that and refreshing it. All right, let's see here. Skills, I talked about profile changes. Okay, so newsletters. So this is something that LinkedIn has rolled out in the past year, and it actually kind of came underneath creator mode at about the same time. So we talked with Allison about articles a little bit earlier. So there's kind of a hierarchy. A post is something that you can do from your LinkedIn homepage. Articles are things that are a bit longer form content. I'm going to go back up to my home page to show you this. So when you're on your home page, at the very top, it says start a post, and that's where you know where you put a post inside there. If you wanted to do an article, you would click on write article, and everyone has the ability to do an article. And I want you to think about article interchangeably with the word blog. So article is a blog. You're writing it yourself. It's your own content that goes inside there. LinkedIn is now giving us the ability to publish newsletters. And if you have turned on creator mode, when you first click on write an article, it's going to take you to the menu that will say, do you want to publish this as an article or as a newsletter? I've already got my newsletter set up, and it's saying publish the Meller Marketing Minute. That's the name of my newsletter, okay? You can publish these articles, rather these newsletters, from your profile. So I can post it as me, Brenda Meller, or I can publish a newsletter from my company page, Meller Marketing, okay? So let's think about how you might be able to use that if you work in HR, if you work in recruiting, if you're working as a company leader. Maybe you have a monthly newsletter that you publish that talks about your featured job postings. That might be an example of one. Let's say you work in business development. Maybe you talk about a frequently asked question that came in from a client that month. Maybe there's a case study or some type of a feature, and then maybe some type of upcoming event. So you could publish that in there as well. What I like about the newsletter feature is once these are published, it pushes, the first prime pushes it out to your entire LinkedIn network, and there's a little action button that will say subscribe. Have you guys seen these? Where you get this inside your invitation boxes now, it'll say subscribe. Brenda Meller invited you to subscribe to the Meller Marketing Minute, right? And you click, you read it, and you're like, oh, this is good stuff. And then you click on subscribe. And there's some of those people that will send you their newsletters, and you're like, Greg Coyne, I don't care what it is that he's written, I want to publish. And before I even read it, I'm going to click on publish it because he's such a great creator on the platform, right? So let's think about, you know, the fact that these newsletters go out to your entire network the first time you publish them. They get the ability to subscribe, and then if they do subscribe, it will then push it out to both their email inbox as well as on LinkedIn when you publish in the future, okay? So this is a little bit more of an advanced thing, but if you are trying to get out content into people's inboxes and you have longer form content than you can fit inside a post, the newsletter feature can be something to look at. Is anybody in the room or online using the newsletter feature right now, besides me? Not yet? Okay, this is something I would highly check out. If you don't want to do it from your own profile, talk to your marketing department at your company. Hey, there's a newsletter feature on LinkedIn. Have we looked into this? You guys will look like a hero. You don't even need to tell them I told you to do that, okay? Just go back and have them check it out. All right, so that was the newsletter features. LinkedIn video meeting requests. I'm actually going to pull out my phone. I'm going to have you guys pull out your phone as well right now. So we now have the ability to request, actually this one's from desktop, I'm sorry. Desktop on video, and then voice messages are from phone. We now have the ability to request a video meeting from within LinkedIn, and Greg, I'm going to use you as an example on this one. So I want you to right now to navigate to someone who you are connected with on LinkedIn, first level connection, okay? If it's somebody in the room, that's better because we're not actually going to send this out, and in case you do, then you're not going to have that awkward, hey, don't accept that video meeting request, okay? So we're going to go onto someone's profile. We're going to click on the message button, okay? I'm going to show you the feature first, and then let's talk about how we're going to use it. So I go onto Greg's profile. I click on the message button, and you're going to notice there's some icons at the top. One of the icons looks like a little video icon, okay? If I click on that, it says create a video meeting. Hey, let's think about how we could use this. What if I'm messaging back and forth with a candidate, and it seems like they have some time to talk right now because we're messaging back and forth? What if I were to say, hey, how about we jump on a quick Zoom call? I could, inside LinkedIn, without leaving LinkedIn, I could click on this and create a instant meeting, or I could schedule a meeting for later. Now, the first time you do this, it is going to sync up with your Zoom account, go in and log in and all that rigmarole. And then once you've done so, then you can just schedule that meeting for later. It'll send it out, and you can see right inside the messaging block, now it'll say, what does it say? Join video meeting. Okay, so I can take somebody off of LinkedIn, go onto Zoom or whatever my preferred meeting platform is. Has anybody tried this feature yet? The video meeting? You've tried it? Have you used it? Yeah. Okay. So Greg is saying yes, he has used the feature, loves it. I think it's really cool for that instant, hey, we're chatting back and forth. Some people prefer let's just jump on a phone call. Other people say let's jump on a video call as well, or a video chat or something like that. So that's a cool feature. So again, think about without having to go outside into Zoom, if you're messaging back and forth, or you could even message back and forth and say, how about next Tuesday at 10 a.m.? If they say yes, then you can go inside and schedule that right away. All right, so that's the meeting request. You can do this from desktop or mobile. I like this for immediate meetings, right, when you're messaging back and forth inside there. All right, we're now going to go inside, and we're going to talk about voice messages, and we're going to have a little bit of time for some Q&A at the end here as well. Talk about voice messages on LinkedIn. This is something that you can do now with first level messages. Has anyone ever gotten a voice message on LinkedIn? Tim's gotten one of these. Not too often though, right? Periodically. There's some people, Allison's gotten a few of these too. Not too often. It's kind of like, oh, that was a surprising thing to see in there, right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to practice doing a voice message to someone right now. And I would say pick someone that you know. I do this with my husband a lot. I'm testing a new feature, checking it out. Or it can be somebody you're sitting next to inside the room, somebody else who's at the conference who's not going to think it's too odd that they're getting a random voice message. But I want to do this right now to actually practice the technique. So those of you that are watching from home, you can send me a voice message if you're connected with me, or it can be someone else who's a trusted first level connection. What I want you to do is I want you to navigate to their profile on LinkedIn right now. So I'm going to go to Tim Sackett's profile on my phone right now. This is only on the LinkedIn mobile app, okay? You can't do this from the desktop. So we're going to click on the message button, okay? We're on the LinkedIn mobile app. We're on someone's profile. We're going to click on the message button. At the very bottom, it will say, there's a little paper clip, and then it says send a message, or write a message rather. And then you see the little microphone icon. Click on that microphone icon. Then you're going to see the big blue button. Are you guys seeing this on your phones? Okay. So we're going to test this right now. And you can do a video message of up to 1 minute. If it's longer, it's going to clip it out, minute, 30 seconds. There's a question? Can you go slower? Yes. Okay, so let me start over again. We're talking about voice messages. To navigate to the area where you can get to this, we're going to go to the person's profile that we're connected with. You're going to click on the message button. Okay, so we're on the message button. At the very bottom, you're going to see 3 icons in there. It'll say the paper clip, then it says write a message, and then you see a little microphone icon. Okay? Are you seeing that? Are you first level connections with that person? Okay. You won't see this unless you're first level too. Okay. So we're clicking on the microphone icon. Now we've got that blue microphone icon, and this is where we're going to send the message. So you have to hold it down as you're doing this recording. You can't just click on it and let go. So you're going to hold down, send the message to the person, and then release. If you want to listen to it, you can play it back before sending, or delete it and re-record it. But I want you to try to send a message right now. I'm going to do one right now to Tim. Okay, so here we go. Hey Tim, it's Brenda Meller. Great to see you and meet you in person at HRUnite. Hope you're enjoying yourself at the conference. Hey, if you ever have any LinkedIn questions, feel free to reach back. Okay, so I want you guys to test this right now. I didn't hear many people talking, so I'll give you another minute. Let's test this doing right now. We're going to test this because I want you to know how to do this. That's why we're testing this right now. And for those of you from home, I want you to test this right now as well. If we're connected, you can send me a message, or you can send someone else one. Yes. We have a question. One moment. We'll get to the question.
Are we ready?
There we go.
So I've gotten videos sent to me as well.
Yeah.
Is that the same?
Video is actually, it's in the mobile upload. You can upload a video message inside there.
Okay.
Not going to be going through that one today, but yes. Yeah, the video messages, I feel like sometimes they're a little bit salesy. I've gotten the video message where the guy's holding up a whiteboard and it says, "Hi, Brenda." You know what I'm talking about? But then you listen to the message and he doesn't say, "Hi, Brenda." He's like, "Hey, if I can help you to reduce your printer capacity and lower your costs, let's set up a Zoom call and let's talk," right? And then I'm like, well, that really wasn't personalized, right, on there. So my advice for you, if you're going to use video messages, I like them, but just make sure that it's personalized. Don't do the I'm going to semi-personalize and send it out to everybody, because then I feel like you've scammed me a little bit or something, right? On there, good question. All right, so you tried the voice message. Cool thing, right? Not a lot of people will do the voice messages. So let's think about how you can use this, okay? Using for talent recruitment. Let's think about this first most. You're messaging back and forth with a potential candidate, somebody you're really excited about. They've got all the skills and qualifications. Why don't you send them a quick voice message? Hey Tina, I really enjoyed messaging back and forth. I want to let you know I would love to have the opportunity to interview you, talk to you more about ABC Company. If you're interested, message me back and let's get this set up. Now, what happens with a voice message that you don't get in a regular text message you send back and forth? You can feel the enthusiasm in my voice, right? You can hear that when we're sending that back and forth. It dimensionalizes you. It makes you a real person. It makes you not just a bot who's messaging and communicating back and forth in there. For business development, similarly, they can hear the sound of your voice, the sound of your personality. It makes you a human being. It humanizes you, right? I love that part of it. And if you're using this as a company representative, as a brand ambassador, maybe you're talking about an upcoming event. Hey, come and check out HRUnite. I'm going to be there next week. I'm going to send you the link next, right? So you could do like a voice message and then accompany that with a link or something else in there as well, okay? I get excited about these little features because I think it's a way of humanizing us on the platform. Too often we are just representatives that are nameless, faceless things that are entities of an organization. When we use features like the video message, the voice message, it helps to humanize us and get a little bit more of that personality inside there. All right, company page invitations is the last thing I want to talk about, and then we're going to open this up to some Q&A for you guys in the audience or for those of you that are online as well. So let's talk about company page invitations. How many of you are admins on your company page on LinkedIn right now? Show of hands. Okay, good portion. And for those of you online as well, I would encourage you, if you work in a capacity where you're supporting talent recruitment, where you're supporting business development, or if you're our company ambassador, you're trying to help support your brand on LinkedIn, I really would advise that you become a company page admin. And let me go to my company page right now. I'm going to go to Meller Marketing. And there is a way that we can invite people to follow our company page. Have you all seen these? Have you been receiving Brenda Meller invites you to follow Meller Marketing on LinkedIn? They appear in your invitations. Have you seen those? Seeing a couple heads nodding on here, yes. So the way that we can do that is we're using a feature that is inside the company pages. And if you are an admin on the page, I'm going to walk you through how to access this feature right now. If you're not an admin, when you go back to work, tell your company representative, whoever's managing your page, add me as an admin onto the company page, okay? And then you'll get the ability to see the admin view. Along the right-hand side column of your page, it will say grow your followers, and you'll see a link that will say invite connections. So this is only something you can do if you're an admin of your company page. When you invite connections to follow your page, let's talk about first, what does that do, okay? So I can visit a company page on LinkedIn to follow it. It kind of is like me raising my hand. I am interested in learning more about this company. Who do we want as hand raisers? Well, we want people who are interested in working for a company to raise their hands, right? We want them to follow the page. If we are using LinkedIn for business development, for lead generation, we want to identify prospects, right? We want people to raise their hand that are potentially interested in doing business with us. That's another group. For brand awareness, general company representative, people that raise their hand or they follow your page, those are people who are interested in learning more about your company or in supporting your company, okay? And they can go to the page and they can click on that follow button, or why not reach out a hand to them and invite them to follow the page, and that's using this invitation feature. Now the newer thing that LinkedIn has added in here is now filters and also the ability to invite up to 250 people per month. And this is an invitation feature, is a rolling feature. Is anybody using this right now, inviting people to follow their page? Are any of you admins on your page right now? A couple of people? Okay. So I saw some heads nodding saying, yes, I'm an admin, and I saw heads shaking saying, no, we're not using this feature. So this will be some homework for you to work on. You can only invite people to follow your page that are first level connections of you, okay? Now, if you have multiple admins, that means every one of you can invite your connections to follow the page, okay? Now, what I like to do is think about people that I've recently connected with. I've got some dialogue going back and forth with them. I'm going to invite them to follow the page like as soon as I can invite them, basically at the beginning of that new relationship, because they have a higher likelihood if we're messaging back and forth, they've just accepted my invitation, and then I send them a Brenda Meller invites you to follow Meller Marketing. Oh yeah, Brenda, we just were chatting. They're going to click and accept on that one, okay? Now when you go inside here, you can now filter your connections. So let's say I am targeting people that are only inside Metro Detroit. I can target people that are connections that are in the Detroit metropolitan area. Let's say I am looking for people that, and there's not too many filters we can work with, but there's a few of them that are in here. let's say I'm looking for people within a specific industry in marketing, for example. I can apply that marketing industry filter in there as well. You'll see a lot of mine show as invited because I use this feature pretty regularly. So the 4 filters we have inside the company page invitation feature include geography, current company, school, and industry. That's all they're given to us right now. But you can think about how you can filter your first level connections that match your target audience within those given criteria. They do give us 250 total invitations to use inside here, and it's a credit system, which means that if I send, I'm sorry, what was your name? Pamela. If I sent Pamela an invitation to follow my page and she accepts it, they give that credit back to me, so then I can send an invitation out to someone else. So I like to focus on the people that I think I have a higher likelihood of accepting. And remember, when I click on accept, it's kind of like I'm raising my hand. Yes, I'm interested in learning more about your company. Okay? So a cool little feature inside there. It's newer, it is underutilized. You can see who your page followers are. So this to me is kind of like a really cool thing to see. If I go underneath my analytics and I click on followers, I can see who are the people that are following my company page on LinkedIn. Let me just scroll down here. And from here, now let's say you've sent this out to a handful of candidates, and maybe you don't know who is really interested in your company. You can now see the people that actually accepted it, that raised their hand, right? And now you can see, okay, this candidate's probably a little bit warmer than the other one. Or this business lead is really interested in my business versus the other ones on there as well, right? So the page followers, I think, they can give you some insights into interest in your organization and into your company. All right, we've got about 15 minutes, and I think we need to leave about a 5-minute window for the conference. So let's call it about 10 minutes to go, right? For Q&A. I want to open this up to some questions now. So if you have any specific questions I haven't covered, I know I talk a little bit fast. If you have any specific questions I haven't covered, raise your hand and be happy to take those now. We've got about 10 minutes. And I'll remind our studio audience joining us from home as well, if you have any questions about LinkedIn, feel free to raise your hand or use the chat online as well, and we'll be able to help you out. Do we have any questions coming in, Jen? Awesome.
We do. We have one question.
Okay.
So Sherry Online sent you a voice message, and she
Wonderful.
got an automatic reply back. So she's
Yes.
asking, how do you set up the automatic reply when you send a
Wonderful.
message? When you get a message?
Okay, so this is if you are connected with me, you can send me a message right now and you can get the same message that Sherry got. This is called the away message. So it's kind of like an out of office that comes through your email inbox, and you can set when you're on vacation or at conferences and whatnot. But I use this feature as a marketer. I'm using this, I'm always an opportunistic marketer. Let's think about what's the best way to use this. So what I will do is I will say, I'll respond to your message within 1 to 2 days if you need help with LinkedIn, my services. Otherwise, please check out my latest post. And I put my the latest post in there as well. So this is an away, it's called the away message feature. You only get access to this if you are using a paid version of LinkedIn, either Premium or Sales Navigator. How many people are using a paid version of LinkedIn? Premium or Sales Navigator, okay. And keep in mind, Premium does not mean better. Premium means you are paying for more features. If you don't know what you are paying for, cancel that and send me a check instead, because I've just saved you money, right? But if you do have Premium or Sales Navigator set up to access this feature, Sherry, you're going to go to your messaging inbox on LinkedIn, and at the very top, you're going to click on the 3 dots, and if you have Premium or Sales Navigator, it will say Set Away Message. Okay, and then it's just like an out of office. If I go inside this feature online right now, I can set a start date and end date. I can type any text inside there. If I have a link, it will load in the preview, just like it did for you, Sherry. Thank you for asking that. All right. So now the people that have Premium and Sales Navigator, you're going to use that feature, right? Because it's a pretty cool thing. And I will change my message up probably about every 2 weeks. I'll either post an upcoming event where I'll be speaking, or I might post a post, like a recent post that I did recently here on LinkedIn. It's a really cool feature. All right. Any other questions online? Questions from the audience? Yes, inside the room. We're going to get the microphone. 1 second here.
Can you just go back where you click to put the newsletter on?
Sure, absolutely. So in order to enable newsletter, you're talking about on your profile, I'm assuming, versus company page, because you can get you this from your company page as well. If you want to enable the creator, if you want to enable newsletters, you have to enable creator mode on your profile. So to enable creator mode, you're going to scroll down to the section that says resources. And in your view, it's probably going to look a little different. It'll say creator mode, and then when you click on creator mode, you have to turn it on. And then underneath there, it'll say add the 5 hashtags, and then it'll say here are the features that you get access to. Newsletter should be one of those. I believe they rolled it out to everyone now. It's possible if you're not seeing it yet, you'll get access to it soon. Okay, good question. Thank you for asking. All right, but you can use the newsletter feature from inside the company page without enabling creator mode on your profile. Okay? Any other questions? LinkedIn? Nothing. All right, was this helpful for you guys today? Good? All right, I'm going to go around. Actually, as we wrap up here today, I love pie. You guys know I love pie. And I used to pre-pandemic give away pie at conferences and events, and then I couldn't for the longest time. It broke my heart because I love giving pie away to people. And I have got pies. I got 2 pies from the bakery across the street last night. They're mini pies. I have a mini apple pie. I don't want to hold it up because it's going to flip the box up here. And a mini strawberry rhubarb pie. I'm also going to be giving away 2 copies of books. One is from the very famous Tina Marie Woolfield, Stop, Collaborate, and Listen. That'll be one of the prizes. And a copy of my book, Social Media Pie, which is also available outside in the lobby. So if you would like a chance at the prize drawing, I'm going to pass this pie tin around right now. Put your business card in, or if you just have a piece of paper with your name, that'll work too. And if you guys could pass that around the room. All right, and while we are waiting on that to come around, and I'll do the prize drawings. And by the way, I'm going to get, if I could, a list of names of the online folks, and I'm going to do a book drawing for those online as well. I'll do that later in the day. Is that possible? Okay. All right, so from the left side, my left side of the room here, I want to see just one item that you learned in today's presentation. So would anyone like to volunteer to share with us one thing that you learned? Okay, we're going to get the microphone over, and I'll ask the online folks as well. So one thing that you learned in today's presentation that you're going to put to use.
I like learning about the featured section.
Yes, very good. So remember, featured is kind of like that end cap in the grocery store, and it's a way to feature things, to kind of pin them to the top of the profile, give them big visibility in the middle. All right, how about in this second row in here? Show of hands. Julia says something she learned today that she wants to share with us. All right, Julie?
I think the video introduction
Video
is really
introduction.
cool. I'm going to try to use that.
The profile video. And I'm going to be honest with you, it feels really awkward recording a video of yourself if you've never done the profile video before. The great thing is you can do 10 videos of yourself before finding the one that you finally like. I like the Clips app. It's short and sweet. You know, it's easy to add the captions inside there. So check that out. All right, how about in this row over here?
I was just going to say,
I'm sorry,
I
go
came
ahead.
in kind of later, but
Yeah.
just being able to discover who the followers are,
Yeah.
just that mystery, I think it's
Do you
cool
want to know
find
where
out.
those are?
Yeah, you had just explained it. And I
absolutely.
went, oh, okay, that's
So
cool.
let me show you right now. If you are curious, the people that are following you that are not yet connected with you, what you're going to do is at the top, you're going to click on My Network. Okay, so again, this is to figure out who is following you that you're not yet connected with. At the top of your screen, you're going to click on My Network. In the left navigation, you're going to click on People I Follow. Okay, you're going to think, well, wait, that's not it, but this is going to get you there. Okay, when you click on People I Follow, it's going to take you to a navigation page. At the top, it shows the number that you are following, and then underneath that is actually, it's going to show you all the people that you are following. If you click on the number of followers, then it's going to show you the people that are following you. Okay, underneath their names, you see how it says plus follow? That means they are following me, but I am not following them back. If it says following already, it probably means we are connected, or I am following them back on there. Okay, so a little jump around to get inside there. All right, we'll do one more, and then I'm going to do my prize drawing. So anybody from this side of the room, something that you learned today as a key takeaway. I'm making Laura really work for her money this morning. I saw 2 hands. There you go. One thing that you learned here today that you'd like to share.
I just like the fact that
Thank you.
how you can alternatively use existing features in there.
Yes.
Yeah. So, quick little thing. Why waste the 8 seconds
Yeah, exactly.
after your name or whatever pronunciation? Yeah.
There you go. So yeah, all these features, I want you to think creatively. I want you to think a little bit outside the box. How can you use these creatively? Even though it says name pronunciation, we can use it for something different. Even though it says gender pronoun, we can use it for something different, right? We can use these features. And all of these things help to dimensionalize you. They help to personalize you on the platform. They can really help you to get more out of the network. All right, so let's do a quick prize drawing. What I'm going to do is call your name. You can come up and choose either of the 4 items. So we've got a book from Tina Marie, a book for myself. You've got an apple mini pie or a strawberry rhubarb mini pie to take home with you. All right, I'm going to mix these up a little bit here. Okay, first name is Kathy Mott. Kathy, woohoo! Nice to see you again, Kathy. Kathy and I go way back. So you can pick any of those items, and then we're going to do this quickly because I see we have people coming in the room. From First State Bank, April Matalavi? April, you're going to have to get the name pronunciation to help me out with that. All right, April, congratulations. Come and pick your prize. And we got 2 more in here. If there's folks waiting to come in, you guys can come in. From Gordon Advisors, Marcy Rosenberger. Marcy, where are you at? Come on up. We've got a strawberry rhubarb pie and Tina Marie's book left, and then the last person will be the last final prize here. All right, this is Christian. Very nice business card, by the way. Christian Allen from AMS Global. Woo! There we go. Copy of Stop, Collaborate, and Listen. All right, guys. And remember, yesterday someone talked about connecting with people on LinkedIn. My one suggestion for all of you is when you connect with people, do please include a personal note. Tell them where you met them, because chances are you will forget, or they will forget. 6 months from now, 2 years from now, you'll be like, how did I meet this Sue person? If you put that you met them here at HRUnite, it's going to help to jog your memory and help them as well. My name is Brenda Meller. I have books out in the lobby. If you have any other questions on LinkedIn in the future, feel free to message me at any time. It's been a delight working with all of you today. Thank you, guys. Thank you online as well.